we didn't schedule any meetings with hotels, but Dr. English did, and he promptly got us into different venues and saw different sites. We ate well, and by the time we left, we were like, absolutely, Norfolk all the way. So here we are. That's how you do it, and that's how Dr. English does it. We know and love him. We really appreciate him bringing us all together and sharing this great city where Aviation Student Maintenance is headquartered. Really looking forward to showing everybody a good time. So we've got a treat for you this morning as well. I'm not going to steal their thunder, but a never before seen presentation today of some tools and resources in celebration of aviation maintenance education that we really hope you'll be able to use and treasure in your own schools. And so with that, Joel, I'll turn it over to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Crystal. Thank you, Crystal, Tara, Nicole, and all of you who worked so hard to develop the conference. And good morning. Glad to have you here. My name is Joel English, President Emeritus of Aviation Institute of Maintenance. Thrilled to be your friend and colleague. And I wanted to talk this morning about a project we've been working on that we hope to offer to you that we hope to use. I'm here with Auroris Media, Stephen Peak and Maria Peak, and look forward to them talking about this project that is called Tradeswomen. So about 3 years ago, as we were looking at ways that AIM could contribute more to providing more skilled trade technicians to go to work, we realized that we're going to have to take some innovative approaches, do some new things to attract the kind of talent to industry in order to keep up with the shortage. We all know the numbers that we're producing something to the tune of 7,000 to 8,000 aviation maintenance technicians per year right now. We know that it needs to be somewhere between 15 and 20,000, so we need to double or more our output of certified aircraft technicians. And it occurred to me that so we need to kind of double our output, and yet, and so in thinking about the populations that we can reach out to, certainly there are a number of underrepresented populations, but there's this ridiculously staggering other statistic that only 3% of certified technicians are women, right? And so it's like, oh, there's the easy math. Even I can do that math. If we can make as many female technicians as we have male technicians, we will literally double the number of technicians coming out of school and kind of solve the problem. And so one thing we asked ourselves is, how can we do that? Obviously, more outreach to high schools is a piece of it. More outreach to groups that are likely to get more people of color, more females, more underrepresented populations. But one of them that we took on is, what if we could tell the story? And that's what this is. And so over the last couple of years, we've been working on telling the story about women choosing aviation maintenance as a career pathway and what that might look like. Frankly, what we can learn from that. So we collaborated with Auroris Media to do that. I met Stephen and Maria, and Stephen, I approached you and said, what if we tried to tell the story? You've written 4 or 5 documentaries, and they're on the Netflix and all out there for us to see. Is it possible that we would want to tell the story about women in aviation maintenance?
The answer was yes. That's the short answer. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? Good. So my name is Stephen. I'm one of the producers on this film. I've been telling stories for about 20 years. And during that time, I've kind of boiled down what I do and what I believe into a very simple mantra. And it's this: a true story, well told, can change the world. Now, one of the really cool things about my job is I get to meet these incredible people. I get myself in lots of trouble, and I learn a lot along the way. I promise you, a year ago, now I'm on airplanes a lot, as you guys probably are as well, but a year ago, I don't think I ever gave a shout out or a fist bump to a man or a woman wearing a TechOps jacket saying, TechOps, let's go! And thanking them for keeping me safe on this flight. So that's something I actually kind of do a lot now. So when Joel started kind of telling me a little bit about this industry, he kind of dropped a bomb on me, and he kind of gave a preview of that just in his remarks, and it was this: less than 7% of pilots are women, and less than 3% of the aviation technicians are women. And then if you know Joel, he very passionately started talking to me about what he and some of the others in this industry are doing to change that. And so my storytelling spidey senses started to tingle just a little bit. You see, I'm often at odds with Hollywood because I think that the highest purpose of storytelling is not simply to entertain. It's this kind of vicious illness that I call entertaining ourselves to death, where I believe that the power of storytelling is for us to look at something, to be affected by something, and to actually affect change in us. And that's kind of what documentaries can do. So going back to the statistics that Joel talked to me about, I recently had the incredible opportunity to meet with a guy named Dr. Paul Slovich. He's a professor and a researcher at the University of Oregon. And he taught me about the research of what he calls the deadly arithmetic of compassion. Now, he says this way better than I can, but the general idea is that the more people that are affected, the less we care. And Dr. Slovich says, Stephen, the human brain highly values the single human, but the more people that are affected, there's this thing that happens called psychic numbing, and the bigger the problem, the less we care. Now, why the heck am I telling you this? Well, it's because Dr. Slovich said, well, the medicine that we need, the antidote to this psychic numbing, is storytelling. And so our weapon of choice in this is the documentary. See, docs used to be the broccoli of filmmaking, but now they're kind of like the cool kids. And so research like Dr. Slovich's is showing that statistics can actually create apathy where stories create empathy. And so documentaries are kind of like empathy machines. They allow us to walk a mile in someone's shoes. Docs can change laws. They can bring down multinational corporations, and most importantly, they can actually help make that all-important journey from the head to the heart. And so that's actually why we're here today. So the last year, as Dr. English said, we've been spending time with students. We've been spending time with educators. We've been spending time with C-suite execs at some of the largest airlines in the world, taking a look at this incredible industry that you guys know and love, and it's creating some stories around those who are chasing after their dreams, as well as those of you and others in this industry that are trying to make this incredible industry even better than it already is. So we're about 6 months away from having a feature documentary called Tradeswomen. But we thought, what better audience to give a little sneak peek to what we've been up to. So you guys are going to be the first audience ever to see some footage from this film that's going to be coming out later this year. Would that be okay with you guys? And throughout the process, we hope that we can bring value to you guys as well, because I truly believe that this power of storytelling, this true storytelling, is a superpower that I hope at the end of this, you guys will say, this is something I want to bring back to my school. It doesn't have to be a feature documentary. It can be short stories, true stories, well told, can change your campus, can change your school. And so we've got a couple of little shorts that we're going to show you. The first one we're going to dial up is Maddie. She is right here in the 757 and is one of the stories that we followed in the film. I really hope this kind of gets your creative juices flowing. So we're so happy to be here with you guys today. And with that, let's roll Maddie's story.
I'm Madison. I'm from Roanoke, Virginia, and I'm a student at Aviation. When I was a kid, I wanted to be on planes. Somehow, some way, I was probably 10 years old. I used to tell people, I'm going to be on planes one day. I'm going to be on jets. I'm going to be on helicopters. Just wait, I'm going to be there.
My name's Stacey Rutzer. I serve as the president of the Association for Women in Aviation Maintenance, and I've been an AV technician since 2009.
Less than 3% of all certified aircraft technicians are women. I don't know if it ticks you off as much as it ticks me off that this has been an industry hidden from females, right? When you are better technicians than we are, and that's the fact.
I think it's such a great opportunity for for women to get into this field because we do kind of have more of an eye for detail. I have to loosen it a little just to get it to turn.
So if you can't see it, you can't be it. What we are trying to do with the Association for Women in Aviation Maintenance, and as part of a larger industry push, is to raise awareness about the career. It's a vibrant and viable career field for everyone.
I tell people all the time that I want to be a mechanic on airplanes and they don't even know what I'm talking about.
What people don't understand about aviation maintenance is that it is a very lucrative career field. Aviation mechanics, especially at airlines, they make upwards of 6 figures and sometimes more.
The low number of women that are in aviation, I think that's crazy, but I think it does inspire me to want to be in this career field more than anything.
There is a path from your toolbox to the C-suite. It's been done before, and now it's time for women to do it.
Today I'm taking my power plant written test. It's one of the 4 tests I have to take to get my certification. And I'm a ball of anxiety, but like happy nervous today. I've done about 12 laps in the parking lot. I feel good. I feel really hyped. Very confident in myself today.
Good job.
She's good. 8-4. Jersey.
You did it!
I'm going to be doing big things. I'm going to be building airplanes that people will be actually sitting.
So thanks for the story about Maddie. Maddie, a young gal who grew up in Roanoke, about 3.5 hours from here, 4 hours from here, and is attending school. Just got certified with 1 or 2 certifications, and is continuing on. It's interesting, you know, what we said a couple of years ago was there is a blank canvas that is the activity going on within our industry and within our schools. Go find the story, and of course the students are the story, and that's what builds the film. Maria, you've been, you're the, I guess some call you the film mom or something like that, but your ability to find the story and bring it out of the women that are in the film, in the movie, and in our schools is something. Tell us about that character development, how you find them, how you develop it. How does that work?
Sure. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maria Peak. I'm the director of this film, and I have the privilege of meeting all of these amazing girls. Any story that you're trying to tell has key elements, and I think that applies to a feature film or a short video or an Instagram post. If you're telling somebody's story from the beginning to the end, the first question that I usually ask myself is, are they likable, are they relatable, are they good on camera? So when we were thinking about stories, we wanted to show diversity. So we thought about Chicago campus. Chicago campus is located in the south side of Chicago. It's a diverse area of the city, economically depressed area of the city, and we thought there would be amazing stories we could find there, and that was definitely true. So when we flew down there, we met a bunch of girls who were studying to be A&Ps, and the first thing we did was we had a sit-down conversation. What do you want to do with your life? Why are you here? What are you striving for? And then we did some camera tests, and we put them on camera, and I did a mini interview with each one of them, and some were more painful than others, but as a process, we found some amazing ladies who would communicate well, who were likable, who were relatable, and their stories could inspire. And then I turned to things like, in Hollywood, we ask questions are, what is the journey of the hero? What is at stake? And what's going to happen if they're going to fail? So let's take the classic story. How many of you seen Rocky films? The first Rocky, the very first one. Okay, good. So he's an underdog. He's going to fight the world champion, and there's a lot between him and that fight. He has to overcome obstacles, which makes us like him, which makes us want to watch the film. And the obstacles are, he's climbing the stairs. At the beginning of the film, he's out of breath, he's out of, shape, he can't do it. By the end of the film, he's flying up those stairs and doing jumping jacks, and everybody's cheering for him. So the same way, I was looking at the stories of these girls and asking myself, what is at stake for them? and what are the obstacles they're trying to overcome, what will make us watch their story. And for a lot of these kids, there is a lot of things that some of us don't even think about that they're having to overcome. So we chose 3 different stories from Chicago campus. One of them was Josie, who is 19. She's a Mexican-American, first-generation American. Another person was Rebecca Wilson, who is a daughter of a Liberian immigrant. And then the third person was Adela, who is in her late 20s, and she also is of Hispanic descent. She's a first-generation Mexican-American. A lot of Hispanic culture, which I didn't realize, does not believe women should be mechanics or turning wrenches or anything like that. They should be in the kitchen or having traditional women's roles. And so a lot of these kids having to overcome the prejudice coming from their own family and their own surroundings. And the safe place for them is at school. At school is where people believe in them. At school is people who say, yes, you can do this. So they're having to overcome, traditional, cultural obstacles. They're also having to overcome economic obstacles. A lot of them cannot afford to just go to school. They're having to study and work full-time or at least part-time to be able to provide for themselves while they're going to school. So that they're having to overcome. And to me, honestly, there is a lot at stake for them because they're breaking the cycle of generational poverty a lot of times. They're breaking the cycle of women not being able to provide for their families. And they're actually providing, by getting their ANPs, they're oftentimes providing for their elderly parents who can't take care of themselves or don't have the ability to take care of themselves. So they're like my mini Rockies, and I'm cheering them on their journey to get ANPs and jobs in the industry. Adela is a graduate of ATEC Chicago, and you're about to see a short snippet of her story, so I can't wait for you to see this.
My name is Adela. I'm from Chicago, and I'm about to graduate from AIM Chicago with my airframe and power plant license. I'm from Southside Chicago. I believe I was maybe 4 years old. We would stop by a local neighborhood pizza spot, grab some pizzas, park by Midway and just watch the planes. The thing I like about airplanes is just how they work. Airplanes just take off like nothing and land like nothing, like in their feathers. Even though it's this big, man-made, massive thing.
Please welcome Ms. Evie Garces, VP of Line Maintenance from American Airlines.
My name is Evie Garces. I'm a Vice President for American Airlines, and I oversee line maintenance and the technical operations team. And what that is I am responsible for the airworthiness and safety of about 966 airplanes that we fly actively.
I can still tell you the first day that I was able to sign airworthiness for an aircraft, right? It's like, I fixed it. Like, wait, they trust me to fix it first of all, but I fixed it,
And we need aircraft mechanics, and we know that this job can change people's lives, and they're not even aware of this.
So you're super highly sought after, and yet 97 out of 100 technicians are men, and we're here to break that.
In school, we were told that there were less than 3% of women that were aviation mechanics. I was mind blown, but it's interesting the progress that was made. Those women are powerful and they're really inspiring.
This job is applicable to anyone, right? There's no barriers, right? And seeing that over 10% of our students are female, right? My mission is to make sure that they graduate, that they enter the industry.
Don't worry about what everybody else thinks. Look at me. I'm in an industry where women aren't known for being mechanics. I'm a minority, I'm a Latina. I'm supposed to be by the status quo. I'm supposed to be at home learning how to cook. Some people expect that I would fail and work at a factory because I didn't finish school.
There's a lot of women that are rooting for other women. There's not many of us, right? So we're always looking for women to be a mechanic and then also step into a leadership position because that's what allows things like this to happen.
I do know that my goal is to be able to provide for both of my parents because they gave me all that they had.
She's going to be a airframe technician that we work with hands well. That's going to be amazing for her.
The American dream for me is finding opportunities and chasing those opportunities
30 years ago that I would be where I am right now, I would believe it, right? Now I can do it, I can tell you can definitely do it.
My dream job would be working in an airline and just not being bored, not having a routine, doing what I love the most, which is, working on planes. Seeing the planes take off and being able to say, I worked on a very
So much powerful, so much to look forward to in this film. One of the things I know some of you are feeling right now, oh my goodness, this is a story about our industry told by the people within our industry. We see Evie Garces and Stacey Retzer and literally dozens more of the females who are in leadership within our industry. It's just it's a powerful thing internally to see what you do. I will tell you one thing we've asked Auroris to do is to try to, as much as possible, de-amify the story, right? Because we want this to be your story as well. This works best if you all at your campuses, whether you're whatever campus you are, it's a story that should hopefully, when told well, bring more female students to your doors and say, hey, I saw that film. Could I do that? Should we do that? That's the hope. Really, this is not an AIM commercial. It is an aviation maintenance commercial, and a story that I hope we will all be able to embrace and move forward with. I learned so many things. Probably the most powerful thing is how mentoring seems to make the difference for women, and to see our students really circle around Evie Garces as she told her story. Evie was almost literally saying, I'm the same person as you all are. I stuck with it. I worked hard in a tough environment, and you can do this too. It's awesome. The 4 stories that are featured, you saw two of the characters, there are 2 others, and their outcomes. It appears that one will go into commercial aviation with an airline. One is working already on aerospace manufacturing. Another is working on specifically with helicopters. That's where she wants to bring her life in helicopter maintenance. And the 4th is now in piloting school and is going to become a pilot after becoming an aircraft mechanic. So seeing this variety of outcomes is not what we expected. In my mind, it was, oh, they'll all be working for Delta, United, Southwest, and American, and Piedmont, and going to work. No, they all took the variety of paths that all of us have taken in this very real story. So Stephen, I know we're gonna roll it forward. What should we look forward to, and what is that going to look like?
Yeah, so I mentioned that we're probably about 6 months away from having the completed film. You guys are our guinea pigs today, so please give us some feedback on how it made you feel and anything that came to mind. We're about to show you, I guess we would call this a world premiere of the first trailer of the movie. That's what we're going to leave you with. We're going to show this trailer, or maybe a slightly adapted one, next month at the MRO. We've been asked to screen it to kind of open up the award ceremony, which is going to be really amazing. And then we're going to have the world premiere of the film at AWAM in Dallas in September. So we would invite you guys to please come. There'll be some stars from the film that'll be there. We'll get to do a panel discussion afterwards, and we're working with Stacey too, to make that a really, really fun event. And I can't tell you much more than that, but I can tell you that it will be widely available later this year. So with that, let's roll the trailer, please.
Less than 3% of all certified aircraft technicians are women.
So if you can't see it, you can't be it.
We need aircraft mechanics, and we know that this job can change people's lives, and they're not even aware of this.
So the idea of Chicks Fix came when I was watching a competition in Orlando, and I looked around. There's no women here. We need to change that.
So this year's Aviation Maintenance Competition Conference is right here in Chicago. And United Airlines has said, we want to sponsor a team. We would like it to be all women.
When I first hired on with United Airlines, I could walk across all of the hangars and say, amazing feeling to be able to help someone else get into the position that I'm in.
Hopefully, we will get to the point as a society that you will be recognized for your skill and not your gender.
The American dream for me is finding opportunities and chasing those opportunities, even if they're not available to me.
Hearing how far they've come, it just made me think that I could really do anything.
Yeah, thanks for letting us have a little fun with you guys this morning. And we look forward to some popcorn.
Thanks, guys.